So recently, our beloved ex-Attorney General Loretta Lynch got on video and decided to kind of record what she thought was an inspiring message to young liberals, to encourage them to fight for what they thought was right. Now, in general, I agree with absolutely nothing that Loretta Lynch says, as do many of you out there, but there were three things in general in this little diatribe of hers that caught my attention that I wanted to address. First was how she talked about how liberals specifically are losing liberties since Trump came into office. Really? Losing liberties? I would beg for Miss Lynch to respond with just one liberty that anybody has lost as a citizen of this country. Name me one liberty that has been lost or restricted since Trump came into office. You see, you can't, because none have been lost. Not a single right or liberty has been even restricted in any way, shape, or form since Trump has come into office. So you're blatantly lying to your liberal followers. Now, second, you said that young liberals should march and bleed in the streets for what they believe in. Now, are you promoting violence when you ask them to do this? Because it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing, that you are making a public call for young liberals to go out and become violent. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's a bad thing. It's one thing to protest, it's one thing to march, it's one thing to stand up for your beliefs, but when you throw bleed for your beliefs into the mix, well, then it starts to get a little bit different. It starts to sound a little more like you're encouraging people to be violent, and I believe that's exactly the message you were trying to get across. Now, finally, I will just point out something that pretty much, well, it upset me more than anything else you said. Mostly because when you talk about losing your rights, when you talk about getting people to march and riot and bleed for what they believe in, I expect that from a typical, well, I'll just go ahead and gender assume, liberal, left-wing communist bitch like you. But one thing I don't expect, one thing that I simply cannot stand by and not say anything about, one thing that pisses me off more than anything, is that you invoked the founders when spewing your liberal bullshit. You see, somebody like myself has truly respected the founders for a very, very long time and watched people like yourself spit on everything that they fought and died for, that they gave everything to build this country to become. And so you don't have the right to sit back and invoke the founders when you disagree with everything that they laid out, all while taking advantage of those very same things. So Loretta Lynch, Miss Communist bitch, I'll just say this: go fuck yourself.